This is a very weird, I think perhaps this is where the atom bomb brought people into a paradox.
James Joyce, I'm quoting him, from Sitting His Way. Now, though he might have been more humble,
after
The West shall shake the East awake,
while yet you have the night for more.
suggesting that as Western hardware, old technology, hits the East.
Hello?
Hi, Marshall.
Hello, Tony.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Do you keep a list of those?
Flood of immigration to the USA.
They're in a sense senile. They have acquired so much information about the world by the age of 3 that they're in a sense senile.
You see, one's international, one's domestic.
Well, we could go back to the techniques used by Joyce in Finnegan's Wake, when he takes typically cliches like though he might have been more humble, there's no police like almost.
No, but I saw it on the news today.
Oh, my gosh.
You're a public figure.
Oh, gosh.
A very learned man who suddenly was caught in the public spotlight and then was seen everywhere.
That's it.
Where he takes the old cliches about be it ever so humble, there's no place like home, and then reveals by punning on homes, HOLMES and HOMES and OHMS, punning to reveal that after all, home is the most rigid police force in the world. It is the most rigorous and disciplinary prison. And also, Holmes, the great sleuth, is suddenly revealed as a cop, a conventional sort of man of uniform, conventional violence, exerting pressure on innocent victims. But the puns on OHMS reveal another whole batch of suggestions, open up a whole range of perceptions, suggesting the world of bugging, or electric bugging of
setting up these little spy units.
I'm on the house, stop over 314 Roosevelt. You were been done? I'm 5 years old. You were there on that? Yeah, I'm staying on the bed for 2 months. That's my kid too. Not been out since weekend? No, not about 214 Roosevelt, but some of the other houses as well. Oh, you moved to another house? Oh, yeah. We were in 606. We were in a 507 Cruiser. The house I grew up in on Bridgeland was still around. It was a house that actually was occupied by a man who was property to America. We were together one night, years ago, and he asked me what street I was going up on. I said, Bridgeland. What number? 507. He said, I grew up in 507.
Isn't that neat? How much of your junior?
Well, this would be at least 25 years old.
Suddenly he was a
Marshall McLuhan, what are you doing?
Lately, I've been worrying about Phyllis Diller.
World of crazy adventures, circuitry, whatever, is already there as a total information farm. Right. It is a teaching machine. Sure. However, what it's teaching is
Thomas Easterbrook, David Carlton Williams, and Herbert Marshall McLuhan. For 4 of the 5 years McLuhan attended the University of Manitoba. He would walk over the Osborne Street Bridge to attend classes taught by Lodge, Fieldhouse Wright, and others at the downtown Broadway campus, currently invisible.
police like Holmes is a very profound sociological treatise. It would take volumes to elucidate it. But Joyce is an example of the return of the oral tradition.
Real estate. Right. Among other things, meant leisure.
The word school means leisure, schooling.
So, persons who go to school are really people who don't have to work.
Understand the language and grammars of men.
On the other hand, we have increasingly tended to turn the classroom into a place of work.
You went to Cambridge University, right?
The undergraduates at Cambridge were appalled.
Among others.
Naturally, there are a few bright ones.
But not any more than in Canada.
No more than in Canada.
You don't have an agenda.
You went to Cambridge University, right?
Among others.
That means you completed school, right?
I completed several schools.
Oh.
I did 2 BAs, 2 MAs, and 1 PhD.
Well, why? If you say school should be bypassed.
Because I regard it as utter leisure. Among others.
This was the Broadway campus of the University of Manitoba in Winnipeg. Today, no one of the citizens is aware that this is the origin of the Winnipeg School of Communication. Among its members, Samuel, Don, Ichi, Hayakawa.
Go down the Red River and sail.
People there, and so someone asked McLuhan, what do you think of the Hayakawa conference? And so he said, well, I'm sure it's fine.
Irving. Goffman, William. Ormond, Mitchell, Rupert Clendon.
And you remember the Irishman who said, seeing a brawl going on, sure, and is this a private fight or can anyone get in on it? And the Irish do enjoy a fight.
Lodge. Horace Noel Fieldhouse. Henry Wilkes Wright writes, the moral standards of democracy is the 168th of 168. Here is a quote from the 1925 book. And these agencies themselves are extensions in the physical world of those bodily organs of intercommunication and personal association possessed by every human being.
I find them very exciting things to investigate. They are, as you know, parts of our own bodies, enlarged and extended to create human environments. Any technology is a part of ourselves acting as a new environment.
A man who may have subliminally influenced McLuhan. More than any other professor in the young man's life. Henry Wilkes Wright and these three guys.
Handed to me on a Winnipeg street by Tom Easterbrook.
Now the point is this, that all the great discoveries in the world are made by ignorant people.
I think it would be fascinating to discover the genesis, the stages by which those buildings and that whole neighborhood came into existence. I have no desire to move into the world that I understand so well. And that's precisely why I do not wish to move into it, because I understand it. I much prefer the old mildewed world of the 18th century book. Do you know in 1700, the Dunciad, 1710 or thereabouts, the Dunciad was written as an anathema on the printed book. The huge smog of inky blackness that was settling over the mind of Europe, turning the whole of mankind into a dunce.
I've seen an aerial photograph.
That's when I was 6 years old, or 10 years old, or 12 years old. I would make these statements at dinner table. I always had ways of seeing that had been unconventional. As a small child, I was told at the dinner table over and over again by my father, would you get up and say that to a group of men?
Of course, because you said things like
yes, because unconventional things.
Like, can you remember?
No, because I was only 6 or 8 years old.
But do you remember one of them?
No, I don't remember a single one. But they would be, they're no more outrageous than the statements I make today in my books.
How old were you then?
I would have been 14, 15, 16.
Were you playing alone, or?
Oh no, I had lots of, not lots, but I had there was always my brother and his friends and my friends on the same street.
He's younger than you?
2 years younger. They were about half a mile apart. We used to play baseball. We had our own baseball team, our own hockey team on the street, and we would enter competition with other teams and so on in the local competitive leagues. And I was a southpaw pitcher for the Winnipeg Fireflies, left-handed pitcher.
Oh, you're left-handed?
I'm left-handed.
I'll send you this article that was done on the Carter in the Media in Sunday's Times. The whole issue was on that.
Oh, gee.
So I'll send you a copy.
Is it the magazine section?
Yes. Sunday's Times. And the article that refers to both of us is the one by I forget. One second, I'll get it and I'll tell you. Hold on.
I had a rowboat on the Assiniboine and a sailboat on the Red River, and they were about half a mile apart. So on the way to school, I could stop off and...
Yeah, and they quote you, Jimmy Carter's a personification of Marshall McLuhan's cool image. Not surprisingly, the Canadian Oracle is another fan of the president's video persona. But Mr. McLuhan was also among the first to warn of the dangers of playing with the cool fire. Citizens of the global village can be burned by television, even presidents and presidential advisors.